Hello again, and welcome back to my channel, Misfit Reader. That is me. My name is Sage. I am your host. Not a very good host. I apologize. If there's a glare on my glasses from my ring light, I apologize for that as well. I'm going to attempt to not do that, but we'll see. So today I am talking about my Asian Readathon TBR. This is the first readathon I've ever participated in. I'm very excited. I'm also very late because I've been procrastinating and waiting for my books to come in the mail for Asian Readathon. If you don't know what Asian Readathon is, it is a readathon for the month of May from May 1st to the 31st. So it's for the whole month. It is hosted by Read with Cindy, and I'm going to list her video talking about it in my description. I believe there are some other hosts, but Read with Cindy is how I found out about it. I'm not sure who the other hosts are, but I know that there are some, so I'm sorry. Yep. But yeah. So Asian Readathon is for the month of May, and the month of May is Asian Heritage Month. So I thought it would be fun to participate in it, especially with everything that's going on in the world, and the fact that Asians have been getting a lot of hate and stuff for the pandemic, which I think is awful, and people are stupid, and I apologize for white America. Okay, but anyways, let's get on to some books. So there are 4 challenges for Asian Readathon and a 5th optional one. I'm gonna pull it up because my brain, I have no brain cells, so I have to look to read them off. I'm sorry. The readathon challenges are: the first challenge is to read any book by an Asian author. The second book, challenge, well, and book, I guess. The second challenge is to read a book featuring an Asian character or written by an Asian author who you can relate to. The third one is read a book featuring an Asian character or written by an Asian author who is different from you. And then the fourth one is to read a book recommended by an Asian. And then the 5th optional one is to read Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng and participate in the Little Fires Read Along and Little Fires Watch Along, which I will be participating in as well. So for the first book, read any book by an Asian author. I have chosen to read, I'm going to be pulling everything up on my phone, so I'll probably be looking down a lot. I apologize. I don't know anything about any of these books except for the descriptions. So I'm going to be reading the descriptions for the books for you guys because I've never read any of these books before, so I can't, yeah. So the first book I'm going to be reading for the first challenge is Strange Weather in Tokyo by, and I'm sorry if I butcher this, but it is by Hiromi Kawakami. If I butchered that, I apologize, I'm stupid. I'm going to be listening to that on Audible. The description for this book is Tsukiko is, I apologize, I said that wrong too. Tsukiko is drinking alone in her local sake bar when by chance she meets one of her old high school teachers, and unable to remember his name, she falls back into her old habit of calling him sensei. After this first encounter, Tsukiko and sensei continue to meet. Together they share adame beans, bottles of cold beer, and a trip to the mountains to eat wild mushrooms. As their friendship deepens, Tsukiko comes to realize that the solace she has found with sensei might be something more. Honestly, what really pulled me into this book is the cover, which I will try to put here, and the fact that they take a trip to the mountains and eat wild mushrooms. I'm not gonna lie, I was like, that sounds interesting. Let's pull into that. I'm also going to be bundling this one up with the, was it the third? Yeah, so that's my read any book by an Asian author, and I am also including that in the third challenge, which is read a book featuring an Asian character or written by an Asian author who is different from you. How they are different is that the main character, she's like in her mid-30s, I'm in my mid-20s, so, and the fact that it seems like she starts to fall in love, maybe, I don't know, with her old high school teacher. So he's like twice her age. From the reviews I was reading, it seems like he's like in his late 60s or his 70s. I cannot relate to that, but I find it intriguing. And so the age difference within their relationship is something I could never see myself relating to. But I thought it'd be interesting to read. Also, the main character, I believe, is Japanese, and the author is also Japanese, which I am not. So those are the differences within that book and why I chose this book. So for the second challenge, written by an author or the character that you relate to, the book I chose for that is Shark Dialogues, and I have to pull this up on Goodreads real quick. Shark Dialogues by Kiana Davenport. The book description for this is very long, so I'm going to just read some of it. So the book description is spellbinding in its imagery and ancient myths. Shark Dialogues is the stunningly sensual and visionary epic of a Polynesian Hawaiian family, a story of daring, passionate women and men, their losses and triumphs, their comedies and tragedies, their anguish and joy. Set mainly in contemporary Hawaii, it is a spectacular odyssey through fire and water, a journey that begins in the 19th century with the fateful meeting of a Yankee sailor and the runaway daughter of a Tahitian, I probably butchered that, chief. Sweeping from the distant past into the present turbulent decade, Kiana Davenport has woven an astonishing, compassionate portrait of her people, one of personal and political complexities, a surreal and provocative, wise and erotic tale of villains and dreamers, of stone eaters and queens, of revolutionaries and of lepers and healers. So I chose this for the second challenge, someone who you relate to, because Kiana Davenport is mixed, and four of the granddaughters that it talks about in the description are also mixed, and I'll go through and say that real quick too. There's four granddaughters in the book, and it says united by their fear of and devotion to Pano, which is their grandmother. Each woman is of mixed blood parentage. Ming, Hawaiian and Chinese, is a lover of art and music who suffers from lupus. Vanya, who is Hawaiian and Filipino, is a lawyer and a fiery political activist. Rachel is Hawaiian Japanese, is a great beauty, obsessed with her Yakuza husband. And then Jess, who is a Hawaiian Caucasian, is a veterinarian whose pale skin makes her inferior in Pano's eyes. Never having known their true genealogy, Pano's girls, as they are called, have led tormented, scattered lives, now caught up in Pano's spell. And it says something else, but it cuts off in Goodreads. So Jess, the Hawaiian Caucasian character, is who I think I feel a similarity to. I know I look very white, and most people only think I'm white, and I am mostly white, but on my mother's side, we are also Native American, which I know is not Asian and did not relate to how these characters are mixed. But I kind of feel a sense of similarity to feeling inferior to that, side of the family sometimes. Not from my actual side of the family, but we'll get into that some other time maybe. But that's the reason why I chose this book, to kind of see the views and stuff of other mixed characters as well. So I will be reading this book on the Kindle or on a Kindle because it's cheaper. Kiana Davenport is descended from a full-blooded Native Hawaiian mother and a Caucasian father from Talladega, Alabama. Excited to read Shark Dialogues. So that's for challenge 2. I apologize for my cat. Hey! 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 She does that when she's playing with a toy. She carries it around and then she drops it at her feet and makes that noise. What are you doing? What are you doing? What? Come here, kitty. Kitty. She came to me, but she doesn't want to come to me. She's looking at me like a weirdo. Anyways, back to this. So for the 4th challenge, to read a book recommended by an Asian, I'm going to be reading The Weight of Our Sky, which was recommended by May Cho. I saw her recommendation video on the Asian Readathon Twitter page, and I will link her video in my description as well. And I'm going to go ahead and read, and I'm still waiting for this book to come in the mail, so I'll post all the covers here, or try to. But The Weight of Our Sky by Hannah Alkoff. The description for this book is a music-loving teen with OCD does everything she can to find her way back to her mother during the historic race riots in 1969, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, in this heart-pounding literary debut. Melati Ahmed looks like your typical movie-going, Beatles-obsessed 16-year-old. Unlike most other 16-year-olds, though, Mel also believes that she harbors a jinn inside her, one who threatens her with horrific images of her mother's death unless she adheres to an elaborate ritual of counting and tapping to keep him satisfied. But there are things that Melati can't protect her mother from. On the evening of May 13th, 1969, racial tensions in her home city of Kuala Lumpur boil over. The Chinese and Malays are at war, and Mel and her mother become separated by a city in flames. With a 24-hour curfew in place and all lines of communication down, it will take the help of a Chinese boy named Vincent and all of the courage and grit in Melati's arsenal to overcome the violence on the streets, her own prejudices, and her jinn's surging power to make it back to the one person she can't risk losing. And then Goodreads also puts down that there's content warnings, racism, graphic violence, on-page death, OCD, and anxiety triggers. So I'm very excited to read this. It seems very interesting, and I could also relate to the anxiety that is portrayed in this book, possibly. I have anxiety as well, so, but this is for the 4th challenge. And then for the 5th challenge, I am participating. This is the only book I have physically. The Weight of Our Sky I will be getting physically, but I'm still waiting for it to come in the mail. But it is Little Fires Everywhere, so I'm participating in this read along and the watch along that goes with it by Celeste Ng. I'm going to read the description because I don't know really what happens in this book either. In Shaker Heights, a placid, progressive suburb of Cleveland, everything is planned, from the layout of the winding road to the colors of the houses to the successful lives its residences will go on to lead. And no one embodies the spirit more than Alina Richardson, whose guiding principle is playing by the rules. Enter Mia Warren, an enigmatic artist and single mother, who arrives in this idyllic bubble with her teenage daughter Pearl, and rents a house from the Richardsons. Soon Maya and Pearl become more than tenants. All 4 Richardson children are drawn to the mother-daughter pair. But Maya carries with her a mysterious past and a disregard for the status quo that threatens to upend this carefully ordered community. When old family friends of the Richardsons attempt to adopt a Chinese-American baby, a custody battle erupts that dramatically divides the town and puts Maya and Elena on opposing sides. Suspicious of Maya and her motives, Elena is determined to uncover the secrets in Maya's past, but her obsession will come at an unexpected and devastating cost. So, I'm very excited to read this as well. I just got this in the mail like a day or 2 ago. I should have started reading it, but I haven't because I'm procrastinating. But I'm going to start reading this today, as well as Strange Weather in Tokyo. I'll be listening to that as I do chores, and I'll probably sit down with this tonight and start reading this. The read-along started on the 1st, and I believe is going to the 15th, and then I believe the watch-along starts either the same day, the 15th, or the 16th, and runs till the end of the month, I think. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. But yeah, so those are, what was that, four? Yes, I'm only reading 4 books for the Asian Readathon, because frankly, the rest of my May TBR is to finish my April TBR, because I only read 3 books. So yeah, those videos will be coming soon. But yeah, so that's my Asian Readathon. I have to get cracking on some books and stuff. Thank you for coming. The description, or links to videos, will be in my description. Misfit Reader on Twitter and Instagram if you want to follow me. If not, I get it. I barely post there anyways. So yeah, subscribe if you want to. If not, I get it. I'm scatterbrained. So, alright. I'm out.